The 4x4 Podcast, episode 151. Whether you're going to start a trip to Tierra Del Fuego or simply hitting the forest roads in the Ozarks for the weekend, Artemis Overland Hardware has just what you need. Visit online at artemisoverland.com. That's ARTEMIS overland.com. Or visit their awesome showroom located in Springfield, Missouri.
You're listening to the 4x4 Podcast, the podcast all about four-wheeling, overlanding, off-road racing, and the outdoor lifestyle. We talk about news, tips and tricks, answer your questions, and interview big and little names in the off-roading world. So whether your rig is busted and you're in the shop wrenching on it, or you're on your way to the trail, join us and we'll keep you plugged in on topics to help you get away. Here are your hosts, Dan, Craig, and Rich.
On today's podcast, Rich is going to be sharing some interviews that he gathered while at the Midwest Overland Off-Road Expo held in Springfield, Missouri. You know, hosted by our title sponsor, Artemis Overland Hardware. The event had tons of vendors and it looked like a really cool event. So if you're in the Midwest area, then this is an event that you're going to want to check out in the future. But for now, let's go ahead and jump to those interviews. And you can find links to all the vendors that Rich met with on our show notes at the4x4podcast.com/151.
I'm at the Midwest Overlanding and Off-Road Expo show in Springfield, Missouri. It's one of the few overlanding and off-road shows that appears out here in the Midwest. Hopefully this will be a new trend that we start to see, and we'll see more and more of these appear. I have quite a few vendors out here. We've got Turtleback Trailers. We've got Artemis Overland Hardware, one of the actual sponsor of our own podcast. Rhino Rack, Global Road Outdoors, Iron Bear Customs, CB Adventure Supply, Kansas Rocks Recreation Park, Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch, Open Range Overland, Missouri Teardrop Trailers, many, many, many more. I'm going to wander around here, meet a few people, talk to some of the vendors, talk to some of the people that have come out here to see what all these vendors have to offer. Hey, I'm in the Artemis Overland Hardware booth with Aaron, who happens to be one of our show sponsors. We really appreciate that, Aaron, by the way.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So what do you think of the show so far?
Man, it is blowing my mind how many people are here. He opened the doors 10 minutes early, and I was like, why are you doing that? I wasn't even set up yet. And it was just a ton of people came in, and the booth has been so busy that I don't even know how I'm doing this podcast.
Yeah, I was really impressed. Not only that, just how packed the parking lot was. There's some awesome looking rigs out there. And speaking of your booth, you have a great looking booth. You've got prime real estate here right in the center of the expo. So tell me a little bit about what you brought out today.
Well, our main focus is camping, of course, and we brought a lot of camping stuff. I brought 23-0 tents, rooftop tents. I brought Quick Pitch, the new Quick Pitch rooftop tent, and Oz tent, and Free Spirit tent. We got a lot of rooftop tents. We got 5 rooftop tents in here. We got a couple ground tents and awning. A lot of camping stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
if you can't find what you need here, you should probably just forget about it.
Yeah,
right?
That's kind of our pride, is we have everything for overlanding.
Yeah.
Well,
it is a great looking booth. So, what do you guys have in the store for the future? Anything big? Any big plans?
We're just trying to ride the wave of the growth curve right now.
Yeah.
But we're getting new products in, usually weekly, new brand of products, because we're just looking to see what the best things are out there. We're bringing them to our store. So I just signed a deal with GoPro because everyone does GoPro stuff, and so they were supposed to be here by the show, but we didn't get them in time.
Okay.
So that's kind of a new big thing we got coming in, and got lots of new. All these brands have a lot of new products coming out, so it's getting ready to be released, and we got some really neat stuff coming in from the brands we already carry.
And you do both online sales and you've got an actual hard store.
We
too.
do. Our website, of course, is artemisoverland.com. We do a lot of business. I've sold to 6 continents. I just figured that out. My products have been in 6 continents, and but we sell a lot of stuff online in the United States, and we just opened up our giant retail location, which has been phenomenal. We got a lot of people coming in from all over the United States coming in here.
And that's here in Springfield,
right?
It's
at 616 West Tampa Street. We're actually right next door. If you're in the Overland scene, we're right next door to Global Expedition Vehicles.
Oh, okay.
So they're our neighbor, and we work a lot together. Yeah. So that works out really good for us.
Perfect. And if you're not familiar with the Springfield area, it's real close to Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch. It's also real close to the Ozarks, which there's a lot of good overlanding down there.
Yeah.
Lots of good routes and just some real good scenic areas.
And if you're into just outdoors, just like you were saying, we are the home of Bass Pro.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They don't compete against me, so I give them a plug. But yeah, I have a lot of people that come into my store and see stuff, and they're like, "We're going over to Bass Pro," and I'm about a mile from Bass Pro, so that works out good.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about being in this area and having the hard store is if you're not sure if you want to buy a product, they can always come into the store. They can pop in, they can take a look at it, put their hands on it, figure out if it's what they really want, it's going to work for them. They can talk to you, get advice from you.
That's really what I pride my store on, and that's why I opened it. There's not a lot of places. There is places, but there's not a lot of places to see. If you're going to buy a $2,000 rooftop tent, you can see it. And I get people driving in just because they can see the tent and touch it before they buy it. That's exactly what
it's a big purchase.
It is a big purchase.
They're a good chunk of change.
And it's really funny because this thing just started let's say 3 years ago, everyone was ordering them online, and I sell a ton of them online, but I get a lot of people coming in to see it, and that's why they do.
It's like buying a house online, you want to get in, you want to see if you're going to like it, if it's comfortable for you, if it's going to work for your needs, if it's going to fit your family.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And,
all right, well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today, Aaron, good luck today here at the Expo.
Oh, great, if you're in town, come on by, we'll give you a coolie cup.
I'll do that. All right, thanks. I'm with Trevor with Front Range Gear. You want to tell me a little bit about what you guys do?
Yeah, we're an adventure outfitter located up in the east central part of Iowa. Chris called us down with the More Expo here, and we thought it'd be a great opportunity to come down and showcase our product. We have the iCab gear.
Okay.
We have this brought in from South Africa, and it's specifically designed for the mid-sized truck market.
Yeah.
But we thought the More Expo, what a great opportunity for this event to be held in the Midwest.
Yeah.
There's really nothing like it.
There is. It's the first one out here, I think.
It is.
So.
We've got the East and West, but so far, this is turning out to be a great venue. This place is rocking today.
Yeah. So I think everybody's, if they're not familiar with iCab, it's basically like a shell. It's a pop-up camper shell, right?
It is. We have two different types that we can put inside the mid-size truck unit. We have a slide-in camper system. Then we've got a bolt-on system. The one we have on display here at the More Expo is the bolt-on system. It utilizes the entire truck bed. It leaves it open for the customer to totally customize it to see how they see fit. We can install a kitchen system in there. But it just leaves them a lot of opportunity to customize it.
Cool. And then it's got the pop-up tent on top.
It does. It's got the sleep platform that will come down. You crawl up inside. It's 9 feet of space up on top.
Oh, wow.
And then when it's open, when you're standing up inside, again, you've got about 9 feet of headroom up inside.
Yeah, and you said it fits the mid-sized truck market, so it fits your standard, 5 foot, 5.5 foot bed?
5 foot, 6 foot beds.
Yeah.
The Tacoma, Colorado, Jeep Gladiator, and the Ford Ranger.
Oh, okay. Any full-size 5.5 foot beds will it fit, or is that
Nope.
is the width issue there?
Well, with it being in South Africa, they've been building these for almost 20 years. And the largest truck over there is the Toyota Hilux, which is the Tacoma.
Yeah.
So with them branching out into the European market, the Australian market, and the U.S. market, they're going to hold true to the mid-size trucks.
Oh, okay. Now, where can people find you?
We have our website, frontrangegear.com. Front Range Gear, we have a home base up in east part of Iowa, east central Iowa.
Okay.
Located in Anamosa, Iowa.
Okay. And social media?
Social media, Instagram, Front Range Gear.
Okay.
Facebook, Front Range Gear.
Awesome. Well, good luck today at the show. Thanks for taking the time out to talk to us.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I'm out here with Randy from Natural State Overland, and he's going to talk to me a little bit about Rendezvous in the Ozarks.
Yeah, we're out here at the Expo, More Expo in Springfield. we're pushing our event, Rendezvous in the Ozarks. It's an event in Arkansas, in the Ozark National Forest. We hold it October 16th through the 18th this year. And
That's a perfect time of year for it.
Yeah, beautiful time of the year. Weather's great usually, and it's just a great time. Last year we had over 400 rigs out there at the event.
So it's an expo type event,
It's
right?
kind of an expo trade show type thing. We have a big vendor area. We also do some classes, some off-road training, some basic first aid, that kind of stuff. We do some guided trail stuff for folks that are new to the area, just wanting to kind of get out and see what it's about. We have to be permitted through the National Forest to do that, of course, and so we have to get all that in line before the event. But
yeah. So the biggest difference is you hold yours, everything is outside, right?
It's all outdoors.
Outdoors.
Yeah.
And being October, it's really...
Usually
it can be good and bad.
Right. You kind of take your chances, but that's part of the experience.
I was going to say, we're all off-roaders, we're all outdoorsmen, and that's what we like to do.
It's not a good story unless something goes wrong.
Exactly. Now, how long have you guys been doing this?
This will be our fourth year.
Fourth year.
So we started in 2017.
Okay.
We had about 160 rigs our first year. It went to 300 in 18 and then 440 last year.
Nice.
And we're shooting for over 500 vehicles this year and over 1,000 folks.
Over how many rigs you are expecting this year?
Over 500 rigs this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
we had 440 last year.
Okay.
So we feel like that's a reasonable goal this year.
Now, you talked a bit about you guys hold some classes out there, right?
Yep. Last year we had about 15, 16 different classes.
Okay.
Everything from folks sharing their overland trip, experience to things like basic first aid, like outdoor photography and videography kinds of things, basic recovery kinds of training and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Then there's guided overland tours, or?
Yep. We have some limited spots for a short kind of 4-hour guided trail rides that we do, that we lead there for folks. Groups of about 12 rigs at a time that we'll take out for about 4 hours just to kind of get familiar with the area.
Cool. And you're getting the word out here.
Yep. We're here today just trying to spread the word. So,
awesome.
It's grown so much that we don't get out and get to do this stuff kind of much, and so we thought we'd come up here and give this a shot. It's been a great turnout today.
It is. It really is. Now, where can people find information?
Natural State Overland Facebook page.
Okay.
And then we have a website, naturalstateoverland.org.
Okay.
As well. And
anything on YouTube? The videos?
We
of the
do.
events,
I have a small YouTube channel that we don't keep up as much as we should.
Okay.
We're on Instagram as well.
Okay.
So,
perfect.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Randy.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm with another Aaron here. He's with GoTreads. They do a pretty unique traction mat on the market. So, Aaron, why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, this is actually a product my dad invented back in 1976, before I was born, actually. So we've been making GoTreads since, invented in 76, making them since 1991. This version we have now, we've had out since 2008.
Yeah.
So we've really been focusing on fleet and military. The overland off-road market's fairly new for us, probably about 6 years we've been doing that.
Yeah.
Really cool product, really easy to use. You just basically feed the front of it underneath your tire, it sucks underneath and you drive out.
So what's really unique about it is it's a hinged mat. So it's got how many hinges on them?
We got, it's 3 big panels plus a little tongue, so you got 1, 2, 3, technically 4 hinges on it.
Yeah. So it hinges up, it packs down to a size that's, what's your packed size?
Yeah, so it's about a foot long, 9 inches wide. So you got a foot long, 4 inches thick, 9 inches wide, and then you got 2 of them. So probably 9 by, I don't know.
9 by
about a cubic foot.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
And then when they're completely expanded, folded out, they're roughly.
Yeah, so it's completely unfolded. They end up being 45 inches long.
Okay.
So yeah, you got quite a bit of traction. We have a lot of people who actually buy them because they do fold up. You can park on top and use them for leveling blocks.
Perfect.
So each panel is 1.6 inch. You get 1, 2, 3, or 4 inches of leveling out of them.
So the folding aspects of it, your benefits are not only the pack size, but like you said, you can use it for parking blocks. Is there any other benefits to it when you're actually using it as a traction mat?
Well, the nice thing about them, because they articulate, rather than trying to get a giant sand ladder underneath your frame, if you're really buried, you got to dig a great big hole before you even get it maneuvered underneath your vehicle. Because these are articulated, you kind of lay them on the ground. As long as you get that tongue underneath your tire, it's going to pull it underneath. And it's not, because they do fold up, they don't flap up and hit the bottom of your vehicle. And if you do give it too much gas and they go shooting out the back, rather than a missile, they just kind of tumble and roll.
Yeah, well, the other nice benefit out of these too is that, I mean, your targets, I mean, you can obviously the off-road community, but you've got regular passenger cars too. I mean, these are small enough, you can throw them in your trunk, unlike the traditional traction mat.
I have a set in my Mini Cooper. Like, so if we get snow in the winter, you know, I've used them several times, more to get other people out of parking lots, that kind of thing. But yeah, you can put them in anything. We have a lot of people who, you know, they have a little cube case and they move them from vehicle to vehicle to vehicle depending on what they're driving.
Yeah, cool. It's a great looking product. I hope you guys have a lot of good luck here today at Moore.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Aaron. All right, I'm with Michael with Adventure Motors. He's based out of, I think, Lee Summit, Missouri, correct?
Yep, Lee Summit, just southeast of Kansas City.
Nice. What do you think of the show so far?
I am actually blown away.
Yeah.
I was not anticipating. We actually weren't even planning on coming until yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Or Chris messaged me. He's the guy who put this event on. He's a good friend of mine. He said, "Hey, you sure you want? I got an open booth, cancellation. Just get down here. You want to come?" And I said, "All right, sure, I'll come." We were all setting up yesterday, like, "Oh, let's see how this goes."
Yeah.
Then we show up this morning, 9:15, and it is loaded full.
Yeah.
I'm blown away.
So you jumped on that last spot. I saw you had a cancellation. I was like,
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to pick it up.
He posted that up, and I'm like, you know what? Sure, we'll go down there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really have much, but we'll show up.
Cool.
So
now,
it's fun.
tell us a little bit about Adventure Motors.
So the easiest way is we kind of say you buy it here and you build it here.
Okay.
We're a Toyota specialty used vehicle dealership, so we sell about 300 cars a year.
Okay.
And that's going to the majority of that's going to be 4Runners, Tacomas, Tundras, FJ Cruisers, items like that. And we build them out.
Okay.
So anything from suspension, re-gear, snorkel, solar systems, superchargers, anything that is vehicle specific to the rig for off-roading and overlanding, we do all of it in-house.
Okay, so you start with stockers, you got a vision in mind, and you kind of just go from there.
Yeah, so we have kind of two parts of our inventory from as far as vehicles go, just vehicles that we obviously get wholesale, that are niche vehicles, TRD Pro 4Runner, Adventure Grade RAV4, a Tacoma that's kind of maybe already built out, and then we do build some rigs and put that in our inventory.
Okay.
And then a lot of our work as far as in our outfitting shop is customers. We got some customers here that said, "Hey, I've got 2014 4Runner. I want suspension, sliders, a snorkel. I want to do re-gear XYZ," and we get a build sheet put together and get him on our calendar and build him out.
So if you had a customer that called you up and said, "Hey, Michael, I'm looking for a 4th gen 4Runner. This is kind of what I want." You'd be able to kind of go out and look for maybe a stocker and then kind of build it up for them too?
Yep. Yeah, so we have a whole vehicle sourcing program that we do just because of the niche market that we're in.
Right.
I've got my hands on a lot of different avenues of pretty much across the country of where I can get rigs from.
Yeah.
So we had a customer that says, "Hey, I want a 2011 Pyrite Mica, Access Cab Tacoma, 6-speed manual, TRD off-road." And I'm like, okay, that's 3% of the Tacomas that were made for a 4-year period.
Right.
That's almost a needle in the haystack, not quite there. But rigs like that, or somebody that just says, "Hey, you had this in your inventory last month. I didn't jump on it. It's sold. Can you get me that rig? I'm looking for this miles, this color, and this is my budget." And we go, "Yep." And we get it in for them. And then we, sometimes it's just stay stock and that's what they want. And other times it's, "Hey, build it to this spec." So,
okay. Now, do you do strictly local sales or do you do any online sales too?
So we're kind of back. We don't have frontage. Nobody knows where we are. And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So all of our leads for the most part are generated online or word of mouth. So as far as last year, 2019, 40% of our sales was local, and 60%, almost, it was 61-ish% was actually out of state. So a lot of our sales is online. We have customers in every state of the U.S., including 4 of the Hawaiian Islands and including Alaska.
Nice.
We ship vehicles like today. The guys are at the shop. They shipped out of Tacoma down to Texas. They shipped out a 4Runner down to Oklahoma, and then we shipped one to Utah yesterday and today. And I think they had one customer fly up today.
Okay.
So that's, typical week, have a couple customers come in locally, and then, a lot of out of state. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right, so I noticed you got a trailer down here too.
Yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about those.
So we've sold a lot of trailers in the past. We actually built our own line of trailers a couple years ago, and I learned that I'm not a manufacturer, and I don't want to do that. Let them do that, and what we do, what we're good at. So we actually have partnered with Opus. They're an Australian company. I was watching videos of the Opus trailer with my wife before I even started Adventure Motors.
Oh yeah?
Like 8 or 9 years ago, and I'm like, we're Googling lifestyle camper trailer because I'm trying to build a trailer for me and my wife.
Right.
We're newly married, and I'm like, this is what I'm into. I'm going to build a trailer, and I want to start this company eventually. And I was watching videos of these things, like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so fast forward now, it's been 10 years since my wife and I were doing that, and I'm like, we partnered up with Opus the kind of November of 2019.
Okay.
So we're kind of their marketing partner for the
Nice.
U.S. market.
Fairly new thing for you too. So,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trailers for me. It's really hard finding one that I absolutely love. And I
Right.
love the design of it. I can actually be like stoked about it because if not, I don't want to mess with it.
Cool.
So we've partnered with them. We're kind of their marketing ambassador for the U.S. So we're producing 17 videos for them over the next 3 months.
Okay.
We're going to go through the Ozarks. We're going to torture it. We're going to go out west. We're going to do setup and tear down and tutorial videos and just kind of get some U.S. footage of the trailer, showing folks, what it is, how
Cool.
it works.
Sounds good. And where can people find Adventure Motors?
They can go to our website.
Okay.
So it's just www.adventure-motors.com, or in Lee Summit.
Okay.
We're just right off 291 Highway. All of our information address is on our website. So
All right. What about social media?
it's at Adventure Motors KC.
Okay.
So that's on Facebook as well. So you just do Facebook, Adventure Motors KC, or Instagram, it's Adventure Motors KC.
Awesome. Well, I wish you continued success.
Thank you, man. It's awesome to finally meet you.
It was nice meeting you. All right, I'm with Casey Steiner with the Action Trax. We've had him on the show in the past. I'll have to go back. I don't remember which episode it was, but it was probably, maybe about a year ago?
Yeah, coming up about a year ago. I remember it was a cold, wintry night.
It was.
Reminds me of the weather a little bit this time of year.
Yeah.
Only, hey, now we're inside. This
Exactly.
is great.
Exactly. This is much better. What do you think of the show so far?
I think the more off-road overlanding expo here in Springfield is now we go to shows all over the country.
Right.
And I got to tell you, this show has vendors from that we see at the biggest shows in the country. And when I walked in last night and saw the display set up, I was really surprised and impressed. And then I asked myself the next question: is anybody going to show up?
Yeah.
And we got here this morning, and the parking lot was packed.
It was.
I couldn't believe it.
There's some awesome looking rigs out there too, isn't there?
Really a great collection.
It's almost as good a show out there as there is in here.
Well, I don't know. I can't get away from my booth.
I know.
The crowd's coming by saying hello as fast as we can say hello to everybody.
So people can refer back to the episode where we talked pretty in depth about your product, but why don't you give us a quick rundown, a refresher of what we're looking at here?
Well, sure. We make the American-made U.S. Action Trax, which are the premier self-recovery track in the world, in our humble opinion. And it looks like a Navi surfboard.
Yep.
You put under your tires, and it grips it up, and you get moving again.
Yep. And I've seen some pretty impressive videos. You've got what's the weight, the truck you put on it? Bends that thing almost 90 degrees, it seems like.
Yeah, we get to experiment with lots of outrageous vehicles, up-armored military vehicles, full fire trucks, water trucks in the desert, and we have tested them up to 52,000-pound vehicles, and they have never failed on us yet. But we don't have access to any heavier vehicles out there, so if any of our friends out there in the 4x4 podcast world have some outrageously heavy vehicle, just go ahead and reach out to us.
Now, you've got the traditional plastic studs, the molded studs that are actually part of the board, and then you've also got the metal studs too, which are replaceable.
You can actually replace any of these teeth on there yourself with a 1/4-inch drill bit and some off-the-shelf US-made hardware. We're making these metal tooth mods, particularly for Marine Recon, Green Beret, trophy truck drivers, and we're run into quite a bit of expense making custom-made teeth, and eventually we were experimenting and tried off-the-shelf hardware and said, "Hey, look, if you don't want to buy a $500 or $600 pair of extreme metal tracks, let's try this," and it's worked great. Everybody loves it.
And it's not the it's not the entire board that's covered in teeth. It's really just the key component where people have a tendency of spinning their tires and melting those studs off. Correct?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
We just put them on the last several rows of teeth on each end to hit the highest wear areas.
Cool.
And then if people want to add more in here and there, they can do it easily.
Awesome. Well, thanks for talking to us, Casey. It's good finally meeting you in person.
Yes, great to see you again too. Thanks for coming by the Action Trax booth.
Thank you. I've got Aaron with Rhino Rack, yet another Aaron. I've been interviewing a lot of Aarons today.
You got the Aaron triangle right here.
Yeah.
We got 3 of us.
Cool. Well, you're out here with Rhino Rack. I'm pretty familiar with Rhino Rack. I've got 2 of them. I've got the Vortex rack and I've got the heavy duty rack on my truck. So love both of them. Love the versatility of them.
Appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about Rhino Rack and what you can do with them.
Rhino Rack is mainly associated with the overlanding community right now, but we're a full-fledged rack company. We do anywhere from bars to kayak holders, roof racks. We got a new Pioneer tray, bike racks. So we do it all. Like I said, we're pretty heavy in the overlanding community. A lot of people like our rack systems for the Jeeps.
Yeah.
Which you put a backbone system on a Jeep, static load goes to 750 pounds.
Yeah.
So rooftop tents are good. I mean, you get up there and watch a music festival if you wanted to and not worry about falling in on the rooftop.
You've got a pretty well kitted out Jeep out here too.
Yeah.
You've also got a nice, that's the Pioneer rack, correct?
Yeah, the Pioneer platform.
Yeah.
So we've got this set up. So our brand ambassador, Albert Lee here, that's his Jeep, that's his build, but all this stuff, so this is just touching the surface of our accessories. So from ski holders to shovel mounts, to high lift mounts, all the straps that we do, ratchet straps to locking straps, wheel spare,
fuel cells.
I mean, we got it all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could do kayaks.
Yeah,
bike
kayaks,
mounts.
racks. We got actually a rear loading kayak rack on there. We've got a roller on the back you can mount to it, so it helps you push your kayak up there.
Oh, nice.
Roll it up there a little easier.
Nice. And so do you have to have a set of Rhino Rack's bars to mount this stuff to, or can you do it on the factory rack?
You can do it with other companies, other brands' bars. It just depends on how they're set up. So if it's got a C-channel on top of it, like our bars do, then our stuff can mount to it fairly easy. Our brackets work with it. Maybe you needed a different hardware kit for certain ones. But other than that, we do make other brackets that wrap around bars, so if they don't have that T-slot, you can still mount it.
Okay. And the main difference between your Vortex bar and the heavy-duty bars?
Really, the only difference is the Vortex bar is more aerodynamic. The heavy-duty bar is a heavy-duty square bar.
Square bar.
And it's heavy-duty, but yet they both carry the same amount of weight. So a lot of people get confused just because of the name, but they both carry the same amount of weight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, very good.
Because the Vortex bars is quite a bit more aerodynamic, and I noticed it between my heavy-duty bars. I have a little bit more wind noise with the heavy-duty bars.
Yeah, the heavy-duties will have a little more wind noise because the underneath part doesn't have a rubber strip or it's not solid.
Okay.
Like the Vortex bar is.
So that's the purpose of that rubber strip is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The rubber strip on top of both bars is, as you notice on the Vortex, is a little wavy look. So it is a little more aerodynamic that way too, the way wind goes through it. But it is to drop the wind noise and maybe a little padding on top. And that's what it is underneath on the Vortex bars.
Okay.
We have the measuring strip.
Yeah.
So you measure it, cut it, and fill that gap.
Yep.
But we don't have it on the heavy-duty bar. So.
Cool. Lots of good information there. What do you think of the show so far?
The show is a lot busier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
You know, we're in Springfield, Missouri. The overlanding community is starting to migrate into the middle of the country, which is great for us. I actually live here, so it was easy travel.
Even better, Cool. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Aaron. All right, I'm out here with Chris Holloway, who's actually the event organizer for More Expo. So this is an awesome event you got going on here. It's in Springfield, Missouri, like I've said probably several times now. Tell me a little bit about the expo.
Well, the More Expo is the Midwest Overlanding and Off-Road Expo. We chose Springfield, Missouri just because of the amazing growth in the community down here, and these are such great people down in this neck of the woods. We're able to bring people up from Arkansas, over from Oklahoma, over from Tennessee. It's just in such a good central location we're able to bring everybody in for.
Well, the location's also good, mainly because it's so close to Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch. It's close to the Ozarks, which has an abundance of good off-road trails, or just not really, I want to call them trails, but good overlanding touring routes, basically. So
yeah, very, very much beautiful scenic drives.
Yeah.
The sunsets are amazing,
Yeah.
and the locals are so nice. You know,
Yeah.
rather than waving their guns at you when they're driving by, they're waving their hands. And
Yeah,
it's super nice.
And the terrain is really nice too. I mean, it's hilly. I mean, they call it the mountains, but it's really, you know, for the Midwest.
Yeah, we're the upper part of the Ozark mountains, so it only gets more hilly the farther south that you go. But this area, Chadwick and down by Garrison and the Mark Twain National Forest, just beautiful spots.
Mark Twain is absolutely gorgeous. It really is.
It really is.
Yeah. So what kind of vendors do we have out here today?
We've got vendors from all over the United States. I've got a vendor in that sells rooftop tents, Toro Off-Road out of Virginia. He drove all the way out. We've got Overland Unlimited Facebook group, Instagram group out of New Jersey, and then just amazing. So we've got Turtleback Trailers here. We've got Artemis Overland Hardware, who's a rep for several different rooftop tents, and I think he carries about 4,000 pieces of inventory in his store. There's a Darche tent dealer here. There's CB Adventure Supply. We've got Rhino Rack here with a beautiful setup.
Even Green Chili Adventure Gear. So even the motorcycles.
Even the adventure motorcycle stuff. Skunk Works Moto and Green Chili are here. We've got Razors, side-by-sides. Boy, it's just so much packed into this.
Go from the adventure bikes and the side-by-sides to global expeditions too. So.
Yeah, Global Expedition Vehicles is here, and we've even got rock crawler buggies here.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So when did you start planning this whole thing?
I started planning this just after a veterans benefit that I did. I'd never really done my own event like this before, but we did that veterans benefit, and I had 3 months to plan for it, and it went from a small event and just took off in 3 months, and I thought, you know what, let's get something rolling with this. And then it just struck me as, you know, I've been trying to get out east and get out west to some of the bigger expos who do a tremendous job, by the way. They're great, but just logistically from the center of the United States, it's so hard to get to either one of those with kids in school and work and all that. And I decided, you know what, let's just get one going here in the Midwest, and we've been advertising and promoting for and getting great ideas from people for about 14 months. Today's the day, and it just kicked off, man. It started with just an idea, and now we're here.
And it's a 2-day event.
Yep.
February, was it 15 or 16?
Yeah.
Trying to think of what day it was. It's been a busy week.
The day after Valentine's Day. Yeah.
So, you've kind of partnered with S'more a little bit.
Yeah, they're one of our sponsors.
Okay.
Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch is one of the most beautiful off-road parks in the Midwest, if not the most beautiful. It's 940 acres of just some of the most amazing trails, and it's anything from mild to wild. You know, we see forerunners out there all the time, guys just going to kind of shake down their rigs before a big trip to Moab or whatever it may be. And then there's the crazy rock bouncer buggies that are always so much fun to watch. The camping out there is tremendous, and they really do a good job with the cabins and bathrooms, keeping everything clean. There's a cafe out there. So wanted to partner with those guys, and they're about 45 or 50 minutes from us by highway. So how do we partner with a campground that's an hour away from the expo that we're trying to do and still make it exciting? Well, it's just not that romantic to have to go and do an hour of highway, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
So I said, you know what? How about if we did an overlanding trail, or call it what you will, just a scenic drive in between the two? It worked perfect. So actually, I brought my mother out with me the day after Christmas. We were just trying to get out of the house, and I said, Mom, come on, we're going down to Springfield, and we're going to go run through the woods.
Yeah.
Okay. That was so much
awesome.
fun. So we ran the route. We mapped it on paper maps, her and I. It was pouring rain. It was such a fun adventure. And, we decided to call it the S'more Adventure Route, and the convoy from that route just showed up. And a lot of muddy vehicles and a lot of smiles on their faces.
Go track down some people and get their thoughts on the route and everything.
Yeah, you bet.
So, that's nice. Now, how about classes?
Classes and courses are going on all day, both days. Today, I think I've got 11 or 12 courses. I'm looking up there right now, and there's a line out the door.
Yeah.
People trying to get in. And then tomorrow, there's classes and courses going on all day. And in these, they're on our website if anybody wants to go check it out. But in these courses, you'll see everything from first aid, what to pack, what to get rid of out of that first aid kit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were talking about when you open a first aid kit, most people just get overwhelmed and confused because there's so much junk in there you don't need. Just how to actually pack one. There's everything.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman coming in that's summited Kilimanjaro, and he's going to talk about how he packed, what he brought with him that worked, what he brought with him that he didn't use, kind of just some ideas on packing light. There's also Gaia GPS navigation course that Matt McClellan is doing, and he does a hell of a class. So people are really excited about that. There's radio communications. Oh my goodness. I think there's 16 or 17 classes total. And Switchback Outdoor Safety is sponsoring the seminar room, and they are doing a fantastic job managing it and getting all the classes, because we've only got 10 minutes in between each course to tear down and set back up, and it's just rolling. It's going good.
And people could probably hear the banging. You've actually got axe throwing out here too, so.
We brought in Tommy Hawk's Axe House. They're supporting us. They were one of our first supporters. They said, love what you're doing, we want to get involved. So right now, there are people up there just throwing axes. That was one of the things that we offered for everybody coming in, and it's a hit. There's a big line for that too.
Awesome. Well, you're a busy guy out here. I don't want to keep any more. Obviously, going by looking at the successes, this is not a one and done.
No.
So.
We're only going to grow. Hope we can double in size next year. That's up to all of us.
Yeah.
It's their expo. You know, we want to make everything great for your listeners and all the people that are here next year, and just do it again. Like, let's build one in the Midwest for us.
Perfect. Well, Chris, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Thanks for giving those of us that live out here in the Midwest an option for an expo, an option to come out here and explore merchandise and network and meet people. And it's a great event. And congratulations, you've really done something good here.
Thank you so much, Rich. It's super nice.
Hey, I'm with Barry with Turtleback Trailers.
Hey, good.
Yeah, I think everybody's pretty familiar with Turtleback Trailers. I mean, it seems like you can't watch a YouTube video where you don't see somebody towing a turtleback trailer around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
we've got a lot of great customers that video our product and take pictures of it and share it on the social media stuff. So we're fortunate.
Yeah. So these are off-road trailers. They're pretty customizable. Tell us a little bit what kind of features we can get with these trailers.
So standard features on our Expedition, which is our flagship that we have here today. 42 gallons of fresh water in the tank, and then the 6 gallons in the heater, so effectively 48 gallons. Full galley kitchen, plumbed in propane, which is not what a lot of people don't do, plumbed in propane. So you're up and cooking within a few minutes. And then 12-volt systems, upgradable to dual batteries, solar systems, whatever you want to put on it, we can figure it out, I'm sure.
And that's really one of the benefits of the trailers is that you can get your camp set up pretty quickly. The other added benefit is, if you want to leave your camp, go exploring, you don't have to fold up that rooftop tent on the top of your vehicle. You can just pretty much leave it out. You're set and you're ready to go.
Absolutely,
right?
And that's the beauty of a trailer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people look at the pros of having a single vehicle, and when something happens and you want to move quickly, I got a bunch of kids, and the time will come when they fall over and break an arm, and I want to get them to a hospital quickly, and I'm going to pack up a vehicle and tell my son to sit against a tree for 40 minutes while I pack up my vehicle. Now we can just hook up and
something people don't think about.
In case of an emergency, you're going to be able to just get in the car, turn the key, and go. Right?
Exactly. So obviously the weight of the trailer is going to vary depending on what the customer wants and what they spec it out. What's the rate range typically on these things?
Correct. So dry weights on our Expedition without a tent is about 2,200 pounds. Suspension setups are rated for 3,500 pounds. So you've got quite a bit of room there for storage and obviously water.
Yeah. And that could be pretty much towed by anything. I mean, that's
correct. Any 4Runner, Jeep 4-door can pull out Expedition. Our Getaway model, which is the slightly more compact model, dry weight's around 1,800 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's the thing that kind of opens up the door to the smaller vehicles too.
Cool. And where can people find turtleback trailers?
Turtlebacktrailers.com. Otherwise, down in Phoenix at our new facility in Chandler. We've got a new facility out there doing production, in-house powder coating, and a showroom. So come check us out.
And of course, all the social media.
All the social media. Just
cool.
Just open your social media and you're bound to see us.
Awesome. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Barry. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, I'm with Corey with Toro Off-Road. So how are you doing?
How we doing?
Pretty good. What do you think of the show?
Oh, the show's just been amazing. Just so many people just excited, just interested in seeing a variety of like camping and overlanding, like supplies, utilities, products.
Yeah.
Especially rooftop tents.
Yeah. There's a lot of rooftop tents out here.
Absolutely.
You look up and that's all you can see is rooftop tents
That
everywhere.
is pretty much the size of it. But you know what? I say the more the merrier.
That's right.
I'll say this. One thing that I do believe about this community is that there's so much abundance in this world, so it's not really a competition. We're just offering variety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now, we've got a pretty good showing of Midwest vendors and stuff like that out here. You're one of the rare exceptions.
Yeah, so we're coming out of Virginia.
Yeah, what part of Virginia?
Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay, cool. Well, tell us a little bit about Toro Off-Road.
Sure, well, Toro Off-Road was kind of born from, my desire to get camping again. And my wife just had zero interest, to put lightly.
I think we can all relate from that to some degree or another.
She had zero interest in just ground camping. So as I began to look at the options that were available on the market, and not to say that they were bad, but I didn't feel like the value was there.
Okay.
So this tent is not cheap, but what I did was I found a way to produce a high quality tent for a reasonable price.
Okay.
And establish that, you know what, you can have a high quality product with delivered value.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the things that separates us. And after I finished working on this project for 8 months, we came to market in October, and we've got a pretty warm reception so far.
Nice. So describe your tent for us.
Sure. So it's basically traditional like rooftop tent, hard shell, clamshell style. We're using ABS plastic and not fiberglass. The ABS plastic generally does a little bit better with like your roll salts, your corrosion factor.
Okay.
So we've got the size of about a king size bed on the inside. The colors are basically just like this gray with this orange lining for the people who can't see it.
Yep.
And then we've got this grayish rainfly.
Okay.
I'll say with that, we've also got embedded LED lights.
All right, nice.
The embedded LED lights are dimmable independently, so like we had to kind of switch it up because one of the issues was when we were out, like we either had all the lights on or all the lights off.
Right.
No biggie, so we just split it up.
Yep.
So
and those are both inside the tent and underneath basically your awning, your vestibule area there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when it's enclosed, like if you're enclosed with the annex room, you still have light on the inside.
Oh, nice. Good thinking.
That way, just moving forward, we've upgraded the ladder. Most people are running like a 7-foot ladder.
Yep.
It's a little skinny. It looks a little, when you stand on it, feels like it's going to give a little bit.
Yeah.
It's an 8-foot ladder. It's heavy duty aluminum.
Telescoping style.
Telescopic style, not moving anywhere. For the bed, we're using a high density foam.
Okay.
So you don't need a lot of it in order to really just feel the cushion. One of the tests of a good high density foam is basically to feel it recover, not just like immediately like it's like cheap, but it's basically going to absorb the impact and kind of slowly come back into position.
Okay. How does it do in cold weather?
Also for the cold weather, it's actually fine. So we kind of had to negotiate, right? Because not everybody's in the same climate conditions, so we're using a 280 GSM canvas.
Okay.
But also we make a custom built 140G insulation.
Okay.
So that puts a nice little thickness, and that's wall-to-wall insulation. So every wall in the tent, including the floor, will have a layer of that insulation. Now when it comes to the honeycomb grid, that's also going to be a natural barrier from the elements. It's been becoming more standard in some of the rooftop tents, which is awesome.
It wouldn't be like this.
Inside the tent, what you're going to find is that we actually covered that back hard shell with material also.
Okay.
Another insulating layer.
Okay.
Our windows and the window shade, the visor,
also
removable, because just to give people options, right? Like some people have, they want to get inside, outside a little easier. Now, to be more obvious, you will find that these are able to zip down.
Yes.
Less obvious is the fact that all of our windows and entry points are using waterproof zippers.
Okay.
So it prevents saturation at those seams. We also tape and stitch the seams.
Okay.
So if you're using a material that's this thick, you can't just use any type of thread, right? So you've got to use a thread that's actually going to be compatible with the thickness of the material that you're using.
Right.
And then also you've got to double that back with the tape and stitch to make it waterproof.
All right.
Otherwise, when you're in like heavy dose of rain,
Yeah.
those little drips are going to begin to seep through.
Yeah.
And if like your mattress is touching the side, it'll actually start to pull water in through the material.
It'll wick it through, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Now, is this just the one size?
So we actually have two versions. We have this version, which is Skylux,
Okay.
UTT, just premium version. Then we also have the Skylux Bantam,
Okay.
which is essentially the 4-foot version of this. So it's
Okay.
kind of like our 2-person tent versus our 4.
What's your footprint on this? Or
So we're looking at basically like 6 feet 7 inches width with
Okay.
like closed, and then it's like 4'10". Fully extended is basically about like 6 and 7'8".
Okay. And the weight?
The weight is 150 pounds.
Oh, not much at all.
No, not much at all. With the Skylux Bantam, the weight is only 121 pounds.
Okay.
We're using less material. Also using less material for 280 GSM material for the canvas. That way, it actually just lightens the load a little bit.
Okay.
So the Skylux Bantam has pretty much been running a lot more so for guys who are running like your not Grand Cherokees. I'm sorry, like your Gladiators.
Okay.
Short bed Tacomas. I mean, like your Mini
Yeah.
Coopers. It's just a shorter version.
Right.
For people who have like a smaller rooftop footprint.
Okay. And I do like the hard shell, the clamshell style. I've camped with people that are using the other style, and it's painful to watch them get set up in the morning and break the tent down and throw that cover over. So I do like the hard shell.
And that's the benefit of it. It's literally I'm sorry, 1 second. It's literally been stay here. It's literally been just an effort in being able to get it up and down quickly in just like a minute or so.
Right.
And the takedown is actually pretty quick as well.
Okay.
So like takes me like 1 to 2 minutes because I'm 5'8".
Right.
Frankly, I got to open the car door, stand up, and a little bit taller. You probably got more accessibility.
Yeah. Cool. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, Corey.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And where can people find Toro Off-Road?
Toro Off-Road can be found online. You can just Google us, Toro Off-Road, or you can go to toro-offroad.com.
Okay, awesome. Well, enjoy your drive back to Virginia.
Thank you.
All right, I'm with Brandon Powell of Southern Missouri Off-Road Branch, otherwise known as S'more around these parts. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
What do you think of the Expo so far?
Man, I tell you what, I'm going to say this. I'm absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
When I walked in this morning, I barely got here in time. It was I was rushing to get here by 9 before the public got in here.
Yeah.
And there was a line out the door.
Yeah.
And every expo I've been to or done before that, usually you got a good hour warm up in the morning.
Yep.
So for it to be slamming right off the bat, I think that's a good sign, folks.
You were going right from the start.
100%, and it ain't slowed down. It's 1:30, and it's not slowed down since.
I know, and we got a whole other day of this.
That's exactly right.
I know. So tell me a little bit about the ranch.
Well, we're located south of Seymour, Missouri, about 5.5 miles on State Highway K.
Okay. Which is how far? We're in Springfield, so how far of a drive is that?
If you did the Moore to S'more or S'more to Moore route, that's going to take you about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Okay.
But just via highway, it's going to take you 1 hour.
Okay.
Literally 1 hour to get from here till you pull into my driveway.
Okay. All right. So about the ranch, about how many acres you got?
We got 943 acres that we sit on.
Yeah.
We boast just a little over 100 mile of trails, levels 1 through 6. So
Yep.
we've got something for bone stock guys all the way up to crazy crawler guys, everything in between.
Yep.
We've got 45 electrical campsites, 8 cabins, unlimited primitive camping.
Yeah.
And we also have an area for the generator campers as
Nice.
well.
And I think you've got a small cafe too.
Yes, sir, we do. It's pumping out. It was pumping out biscuits and gravy and eggs and bacon, all that good stuff
Nice.
as I was leaving this morning. But yes, sir, we have central heat and bath and shower houses on one side of the building, and then on the other side of the building we have a heated cafe area, or with a seating area, that'll seat about 50 people. So you got a nice, comfortable spot to eat your breakfast for lunch.
Nice. Now, if people are familiar with, you've got is it the Jeep Badge of Courage, or
Jeep
what do they
Badge
call
of
them?
Honor is
Jeep
what they
Badge of
call it.
Honor, yeah. You've got, is it how many trails? One trail? Or?
It's 2 trails,
Two
actually.
trails.
Yes, sir. Both of those, what it is Jeep put out a program here years ago, and they gave these to different parks, and they're all over the United States. People travel all over the United States just to get these.
Just to get these little badges.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
And Jeep did an awesome job of making good badges as well. Our 2 Trail Badge of Honor trails are Pee Wee's Crossing and Guardrail.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, and then you've partnered with Chris out here. You're a sponsor out here today.
Yes, sir. We've partnered in sponsoring as far as trying to help drive awareness to the Expo and get people, here, drive here. And I'll be darned, I think it is working.
Yeah, no kidding. It is absolutely packed out here. Okay. Now tell me a little bit about the route that you guys came up with, the S'more to More route.
Well, I'll have to admit, I did a little bit of facilitating, as in Chris got with me and he said, "Hey Brandon, this is what I'm wanting to do." I said, "Man, for what we're doing, I think that's a killer idea."
Yeah.
So he was like, "Hey, do you know anybody?" So what all I did was facilitate and got Chris hooked up with guys.
Nice.
They went and got the routes. I just played host or played nice host a couple nights, and they came and camped out while they got everything mapped out.
Well, I think they're all here now. A lot of the Jeepers that did that route are here now. So I'm gonna try to track some of them down, see what they thought of the route, see what they think of S'more and all that good stuff. So where can people find S'more or information on it?
If you would go to our website, www.smorr.net, or on our Facebook page, smore.net.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking time to talk to us, Brandon.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming by and visiting with me.
All right, I'm with Shane with Overland Unlimited, and I think you guys win the longest drive award, right?
We might. Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
So we're based out of New Jersey. We always say try not to judge us too much coming out to the Midwest. But, we came out because we've been the primary marketers for the show. We started with Chris working on More Expo in probably about September or October of 2018.
Okay.
So it's been almost a year and a half to get here, which is great. But, it was a 17-hour drive. We did it as a straight shot. We made a little sleeping platform in the back, and we just swapped back and forth.
What'd you guys drive out in?
So I'm a Nissan Xterra driver.
Okay.
So we loaded everything up in that, and it's pretty good straight shot.
I'm trying to get my son sold on Nissan Xterras. So
yeah, it's it's an underappreciated platform. I think for a body design that hasn't changed since 2005 when they stopped making in 2015. I wish they updated it, but it still runs true. But it's a little smaller than a 4Runner, a little bigger than a Jeep. Perfect size for me. Love the plastic in the back. Dog vehicle.
We've got friends that do the Nissan Nation podcast. So
They're great guys.
Yeah.
And Gone Moab and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Great guys.
Yep. Cool. So, did you guys get a chance to explore any of the areas around here yet?
We haven't. We got into town Thursday afternoon with about 4 hours of sleep in both our belts, so we were pretty tired. And we actually came straight to this expo hall, met with Chris, went to a bunch of the vendors. So we've been working since we got here.
Well, if you get a chance to go to S'more, do it.
I know we want to.
Yeah.
It's on my bucket list, and I'm upset that I won't be able to make the S'more to More run because we've been working with Express Rally on that.
Yeah,
too.
I just finished talking to Chris and Brandon about that.
Great guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal.
So what do you think of the Expo so far?
Expo is great, fantastic. We've actually been doing a lot of interviews ourselves with people, so we're excited about the buzz. The goal is really to make this twice as big next year, so we'll have both sides of this hall.
Right.
But we're excited about it, having a blast, lots of people coming up.
Cool. Tell us about Overland Unlimited.
Yeah, sure. So Overland Unlimited, we'll do the short version of it. We started almost by accident, but we decided we weren't interesting enough to do an Overland page about, so we made it all about other people.
Okay.
So what we do is we engage with people. It's very much a community-based marketing and apparel brand. Mm-hmm. We talk with people. Everything's free. We get their story. We engage as long as needed. Everyone goes on a very well-organized list, and then we write a mini article about people, which goes on our social media, Instagram and Facebook. So if you go to our Instagram, it's about 50,000 followers.
Yeah.
Every single one of those posts is pictures with a story on that person. When social media, it's kind of become this impersonal thing.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make it a little more personal. We like the trucks. It's kind of the clickbait, but we really focus on the people behind the truck.
It's all about the people.
It's all about the people.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing a lot of here as well.
Okay. And where can people find it?
Instagram's probably our biggest following. So it's Overland_Unlimited.
Okay.
But we link over to Facebook as well. Our store's up there. But for the most part, just send us a message. We're cool guys.
Yeah.
It might take us a couple days to get back to you because we get swamped with messages, but we'll always get back to you. No one will be forgotten about.
Good deal. Good deal. Tough question for you. What's your most memorable interview?
Ooh, most memorable interview. Aside from this one, of course.
Of course.
We did a podcast a year ago when we first started. That was a long podcast. It was like 40 minutes, and that was great with Daniel Hill Media Group.
Yep.
But some of the interviews we've had here today have been phenomenal. Oh, man, it's hard to pick. I don't remember the names of everyone that sat down. I just met them, but still one of our favorite rigs to date. It would probably be between the handle on Instagram is Dropped Alpha.
Okay.
It's literally a 72 Alfa Romeo 105 GT that fell off the back of a roll bed, got wrecked, and rather than scrapping it, they said, well, let's make a canyon racer out of it. So they lifted it, they put big mud terrains on it. It's the coolest off-road rig ever.
How have I not seen this?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, we featured a guy that took a 1955 DeSoto and put it on an F350 frame and wheels with that. So that thing's pretty sweet. Another favorite of ours is, I think it's Jay Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
He's just got a 60 Series Land Cruiser that's
Gotta love
super
Landys.
clean. So, 60 Series is probably our favorite. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Well, cool.
But, yeah, there's too many to list. We're constantly surprised by what people are doing with vehicles that probably have no business off-road. It's amazing. A ton of Porsches, it's crazy.
Yeah.
People get out there in.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for taking time to sit down and talk to us.
No, thanks so much.
I hope you get a chance to go out and explore. Go explore Marquette National Forest.
Yeah.
If not this trip, try to make it out here and do it again.
Oh, we'll definitely be back next year. But, it's a beautiful area, Ozarks, all of that. So thank you so much for talking with us. I
all right,
appreciate
it was great talking to you. Hi, I'm with Chad, and we're at the Overland Addict booth. Chad, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
Cool, yeah, so we're a overland gear shop, basically. We sell anything you're going to need for an overlanding trip. We specialize in rooftop tents, awnings, recovery gear. We got Max Trax. We're an authorized Darchie dealership now.
Yeah.
We're a Max Trax dealer, and we've got some apparel too, some shirts and hats. And we started with patches and stickers, so we got some Ozark National Forest patches, Ouachita National Forest patches, and they're made of PVC rubber. They're really durable, so those started selling really good.
All right.
And,
well, you're dropping some names, which tells me you guys are pretty local.
We're local.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in Nixon, Missouri.
Okay. Perfect. Nix, that's also Global X, is that right?
Well, they're in Springfield. Yeah,
Springfield.
Nix is essentially Springfield.
Oh, okay.
We're about 6 miles south of Springfield. We're considered Springfield Metro.
Okay. So you do online sales. Do you have a fixed store also?
We're opening our retail store. I'm hoping to have it open next week.
Oh, okay.
Which will be, what is today? That'll be end of February sometime.
Oh, wow. Coming up.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's exciting, yeah.
Cool. You had a pretty good showing so far at the
It's been
show?
crazy busy, man. The turnout here is amazing.
Yeah.
Chris Holloway with More Expo, he pulled in some really awesome vendors, and the turnout as far as the crowd is really, really awesome.
You had a pretty good line here when I walked up.
It's been nonstop. I haven't had a pee break or anything.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are having pretty good success out here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk
Absolutely,
to me.
man.
All right, I'm with Levi and Brian with Overland Essentials. What do you guys think of the show so far?
We definitely underestimated the amount of people and the show itself. Chris did an outstanding job putting this thing together and has been a marketing success.
Yeah, I think it's turned out really well. Chris has done a really, like Levi said, a professional job of setting this place up. I think the design, I know he was saying the other day that, yesterday he was saying that he had to kind of push some of the square feet to the right in order to fit the amount of vendors that actually ended up coming here.
Yeah.
Over 50 vendors. I mean, for the first time ever.
Well,
it's a success story, I think.
I know, and he had one last-minute cancellation, but somebody snatched it up just like that.
Yeah, he was able to feel it immediately.
Yeah. So, Overland Essentials. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, short story. Actually, it's not. We started basically last year on a short kind of idea that we kind of started building this thing for marketing and education and trying to build the Kansas City community in the overlanding aspect sort. There was really nowhere to go or nothing to see other than the forums. And if anybody's ever been on a forum, we know everybody has an opinion. Everybody's opinion's the right opinion. Yeah, doesn't matter. But just helping people educate themselves and see what, I wouldn't say see what right looks like, because we're definitely not the right, you know.
It's all personal preference.
Yeah, it's all personal preference. But it's to help them get their mindset correct.
Right.
I say it all the time. Overlanding is a mindset, and once you build your mindset and where you want to be, that's what you build your vehicle around.
Right.
I think another important part that we brought to it is usually it's either off-roading or overlanding. You're one or the other. There's really not a lot of people that do the crossover. And we were off-roaders at heart. We're talking stretch TJs and LJs on 40s and stuff like that, doing the hardcore rock crawling stuff. And we've kind of ventured over into the overlanding, so being able to give some insight about some of the things that we've taken from the off-roading aspect to our vehicle builds for overlanding.
They certainly apply. I mean, those are the areas where you're really going to stretch your vehicle to its maximum. And that's where you start to learn your lessons, right? And you can apply those lessons to overlanding.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. So, but some of the other lessons that you don't think about when you're strictly, a rock crawler, I'm coming from a V8 TJ on 42s that, when I had a trailer and a mega cab Dodge Dually, I could pack whatever I wanted.
Right.
I mean, I could put a smoker on my trailer and it wouldn't affect anything. Well, our first trip out, I had a full cast iron mess kitchen basically jammed in my LJ, and that's not the mindset or the aspect that we want to go. I tell people, Jeep real estate is the most expensive real estate you could buy.
It really is.
Square foot, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're packing a Jeep for a 14-day trip, you're sticking everything you could find in every nook and cranny, especially with a family of 4.
Right. Well, and your load capacity. I mean, you're already limited there. I mean, they don't call it, overloading for no reason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's overloading, not overlanding. And and I'm past my payload, but for every, you got to start looking at sway bars, compression rate, spring rate, beefing up your axles, beefing up your brakes, beefing up your gears. We've done it all.
Yeah.
And that's that education piece that we were talking about, is a lot of people don't think about those things. Spring rates go a long ways based on the load that you're putting in your vehicle. And I think another important factor, and I think what we're about, is we showcase what we use. I mean, I got a massive crack in my windshield. My Jeep's dinged and scratched, and so the things that we bring in here to show everybody is the stuff that we use for every trip that we've taken. So
yeah, absolutely. Everything that we sell or pitch and try to sell, we sell 1 million different products. What we bring to the show is the stuff we actually use. Because we are subject matter experts in that particular part.
Right.
Whether it be the Garmin equipment that you see, the GSI products, we even made our own coffee.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we have intense and Morning Woods super overlandy coffee.
Can you really be an overlander if you don't have coffee?
That was our motto.
I wasn't even a coffee drinker until I started overlanding.
Well, anybody can be overlanding, but can you be super overlanding? That's
right.
The real question.
That's right. Exactly. So you guys do sell products. Do you guys do classes too, or?
We do. We just finished a class at 1 o'clock. We did an Overland 101 class for the Moore event. We taught a class at our Overland.
Overland Weston.
Yeah, Overland Weston seminar. Yeah. We actually went to the Rocky Mountain Overland Rally, teaching classes and volunteering.
Good.
But that's how all this started, was trying to educate. We're not experts in everything.
Right.
We just know a little about a lot.
Well, and it's the experience. It's the experience that you guys are bringing to the table. That's what you're paying for. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and it's the trial and error.
Right.
And honestly, I've gone through a lot of money that I could save somebody trying the stuff I've tried and be like, man, that just did not work. Like, go this route instead. Trust me.
I've tried the budget builds, and I've learned from the budget builds.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And it adds up.
Between the both of us, I think we've ran almost 12 different style suspensions, spring rates, shock rates, and I'm not going to put any brands out there because they're not bad brands. They're just the spring rates weren't what we were needing. We were needing a heavy-duty spring, but there are certain companies out there that give us a really heavy-duty spring that you can barely drive your Jeep without the load.
Right.
And it's like a 1-ton truck. Feels great with a trailer. You take the load off and it'll rattle your feelings out. We didn't want that ride. We wanted something smooth, Very nice. And we did. We found TerraFlex makes a great Outback coil, overland coil for a Jeep JK.
Right.
It is a great coil. Out of the 12 coils that we have tried, it probably has one of the best spring rates for what we do.
Right. And you're right. It's not the brand. It's the application.
You're absolutely. And I wouldn't say anything bad about those other companies, because I mean, heck, we turned around and put the same company on the JL that we didn't like. We took one off of his Jeep, and I bought the same brand and put it on the JL. So it's nothing against the companies. It's just spring rate.
Well, we talked about it in the Overlanding 101. It's about doing some research. What are you going to tailor your vehicle for? Are you going to do a minimalist, overlanding adventure where you take a sleeping bag and a hammock that doesn't weigh very much, and stick with a soft, cushy coil or something like that, or
metal cloak,
which I'm a metal cloak fan through and through.
Right.
But once you put a load on it, the amount of sag that I would get, and we've been running this stuff for a while, and I mean, like Levi said, TerraFlex has done really good with the Outback coil. We're not here to pitch TerraFlex. It's not what we're doing, but it shows with the way that the rigs are built. We're not talking about a product that is not on our rigs with how we use them. Hell, Overland Addict has, jumped on the bandwagon with those Outback coils because he saw what we were doing out there at the rendezvous, and so
I mean, we haven't tried several different brands either. I would love to get a set of the new Icon heavy duty springs and run those and see how those work, or try some different applications. But that's another thing that we've kind of started with ourselves almost, is, hey, we like this tent, but let's see if there's one better.
Right.
Let's get rid of this tent, buy the next. I've had, personally, this is my third tent in 2 years, which is absurd for most people. I think Brian's on
6.
Yeah.
I think I'm on 6 total. Yeah, there's some minors.
But you've learned something from every single tent.
I have, every single one of them. I've used the Front Runner tent, which is great in warm weather. It's a fair weather tent.
Yeah.
As soon as you get cold weather in it, you're going to be miserable. I've used CVT makes a wonderful tent. 23-0 has some perks with their tents. And then I finally ended up going with the Ursa Minor, which is going to be kind of like my forever tent. I'm kind of stuck with that, so I'm sure he'll catch me on tents here before too long.
So do you guys have anything on the agenda for tomorrow?
Just this. We have a class at noon.
Yeah.
Another Overlanding 101 class at 12 o'clock. We've gotten a lot of feedback. Like I said, we've 17 years in the military. I have, and Brian's on 18. So we have a lot of experience teaching young soldiers.
Right.
Mostly how to react to military stuff, but and that sometimes that's how to survive in a off-road or overlanding situation. It's almost the same as how to survive in a combat situation. I mean, we're not hunting for cover and shooting and fire, suppressive fire and all that stuff. But we are looking for water, needing shelter, looking for food. Those kind of things are the necessities. Food, water, and shelter. If you can master those 3 things, you'll have the most enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Well, and then the planning aspect of it, the military comes into play with a lot of that as well. And we talked about that in the Overlanding 101. You don't go do a route in Iraq without doing your route planning and all that stuff, or whatever MSRG you're going to be using. So, we try to capture that in there with it and stuff. So,
cool.
The military's played a part with helping out, but
all right, you guys will be back next year.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. This is definitely a second. We're going to actually try to. We're in the process of planning our own. First week in November, all the details will be put out as soon as we get the go ahead from the property owner.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for taking time to talk to us today, guys.
Yep. No problem. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We live in a strange time where so many of us want to shop online for equipment designed to get us outside. I get it. I totally get it. Shopping from the comfort of your couch at any time of day is very appealing. But so much of the equipment that we use for overland travel is really expensive, and it would be nice to see it up close and explore it a bit before spending your hard-earned money. Artemis Overland Hardware is located in Springfield, Missouri, and you can visit them in person. You can see all of that equipment in person, pick it up there, head out for an adventure right from the shop. Artemis Overland Hardware only stocks the very best equipment. Anything you pick up is going to stand up to the harsh environments that you'll be subjecting them to. At ArtemisOverland.com, you'll find a wide selection of rooftop tents and ground tents from companies like OzTent, 23-0, Eezi Awn. You can outfit your kitchen with a SnoMaster Fridge, a Tembo Tusk Skottle, or a stove from Kovea or Frontrunner. Artemis Overland has a large selection of camp furniture as well as roof racks for a wide range of vehicles. Recovery gear, winches, lights, solar power, dual battery systems, action tracks, GPS units, and much, much more can all be found over at artemisoverland.com or at the brick and mortar store there in Springfield, Missouri. Artemis Overland Hardware is also one of the very few approved Goose Gear installers and Ironman 4x4 dealers located in the central United States. So whether you're going to start a trip to Tierra del Fuego or simply hitting the forest roads in the Ozarks for the weekend, Artemis Overland Hardware has just what you need. Visit online at artemisoverland.com or visit their awesome showroom in Springfield, Missouri. Also want to remind you that we are members of the 4x4 Radio Network. Check it out over at 4x4radio.com, and you'll find a huge playlist with all the shows on the 4x4 network. You can just hit play there and listen to the Center Steer podcast and learn about Land Rovers, or the Jeep Talk Show and learn about all things Jeep. We've got Cody and Matt on the Trail Chasers podcast, and also Kevin and Scott, who we really need to get on the podcast and introduce you guys with On the Trail. All right, thanks again to Artemis Overland Hardware for helping the show continue. Be sure to check them out over at Artemis Overland Hardware on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, the website, artemisoverland.com. And they've got a new showroom. It's expanded. It looks great. So if you want to contact us, you can email us, the 4x4 podcast at yahoo.com. We are on Facebook and Instagram and also Twitter, and that's the 4x4 podcast and all those places. And you can send us a voicemail, 719-924-5337. Or you can even text us. We like that too, 719-924-5337. And when you leave a voicemail, don't worry, nobody's going to answer, so you can call anytime, day or night. We've also got the Speak Pipe tool if you want to leave us a really high-quality audio message. But for now, it's time to hit the trails. So tread lightly, God bless, and stay safe while exploring your world.